thinking. Of course, when he was sick, they sent for Jesus, and Jesus refused to come. And when he died, day 1, Jesus refused to come. Day 2, Jesus refused to come. Day 3, Jesus refused to come. And day 4, Jesus appeared. I pray for you, sir. Oh, concerning that matter, Jesus will show up. Jesus will show up. I say Jesus will show up. It's not yet over, brother. It's not yet over, sister. Jesus will show up for you in the name of Jesus. I said Jesus will show up for you. And so why did Jesus delay in coming unveiled the 4th day? There is the Jewish tradition as recorded in the Talmud. The Talmud is a book for the Jews. There's this belief amongst the Jews that if a man dies, his soul of course leaves him and begins to hover around that individual, and the plan is for it to re-enter into that individual, so that that individual will come back to life. And so as the soul begins to hover around the individual, day 1, day 2, day 3, the face of that individual begins to change and begins to decompose. And when the soul notices that it has decomposed, the soul leaves, and then it is assumed and believed that the man or the woman or the fellow is dead indeed. And so Jesus knew this, because if Jesus had come either on the 1st day, either on the 2nd day, either on the 3rd day, according to their tradition, and if he had brought Lazarus back to life again, it would have been assumed to be a resuscitation as against a resurrection. They will have assumed it to be a resuscitation, that the man actually fainted and that he was not truly dead. They will have assumed it to be a resuscitation and not a resurrection. But this time, because he was dead and decayed for 4 days, they knew of a truth. This one was a resurrection brought into being by the one who is the resurrection and the life. And so for Lazarus, the case was even beyond the remedy. Looking at it from the human perspective, he was already dead and gone. But as far as God was concerned, it was not yet over. And so if it was not yet over for someone who was dead, decaying and stinking, then it cannot be over for you, because as I'm speaking to you, you still have breath in you. As I'm speaking, you are still alive. And so as you are alive, the Bible says to him that is joined to the living, there is hope. Therefore there is hope for you, sir. It is not yet over. It is not yet over for you, sir. It is not yet over for you, ma. In the name of Jesus, I said it is not yet over for you, sir. It is not yet over for you, ma. In the name of Jesus, it is not yet over for you, sir. It is not yet over for you, ma. In the name of Jesus, whatever the situation, I bring good news to you, sir. I don't know that situation. You know it better than I do, but God knows better. The one who knows better, the God who sees all things, the God who knows all things, the God who can do all things, the God who has the final say concerning a matter. That God is touching that situation. That God is touching your life. That God is touching that situation. In the name of Jesus, you are not going to die in that situation. You are not going to die in that predicament. The one who is the glory and the lifter up of our head, the one who removeth from the grave, that God will take you out of that predicament. That God will take you out of that situation. In the name of Jesus. I declare it again to you, sir. It's not yet over. To you, sir, it's not yet over. To you, ma, it's not yet over. In the name of Jesus. I don't know in which area you are disadvantaged. I don't know in which area you are disadvantaged. You may be disadvantaged by maternity. You may be disadvantaged by paternity. You may be disadvantaged in oratory skills. You may be disadvantaged